This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 train. The next stop is
Wall Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Welcome back, everyone. It is Thursday, July 18th. This is Not Your Advisor with NYU Grad. Let's jump right into today's session here. We had 715 new highs versus 108 new lows today. We had 16% advancing on the NYSE versus 81% declining. 32% of stocks were below their 50-day moving average, and 29% of stocks were below their 200-day moving average. Now, it was again another broad sell-off in the mega cap tech, and this time as well as the small caps. There was no stone unturned today. The Dow was down 533 points, down 1.29%. The NASDAQ was down 125 points, or 0.7%. And then you had the S&P 500 down 0.78%, or 43 points. Taking a quick look at the mega cap land and the Mag 7, the only ones that were green, you had Nvidia bouncing from Wednesday up 2.6%. Meta was bouncing from yesterday up 3%, but the rest were all red. Microsoft down 0.71%, Apple down 2%, Google down 1.8%, Amazon down 2.2%. So it was a pretty bloody day. I mean, Tesla was up 0.29%, basically break even on the day. But the more troubling news here is that when you look at the sectors, every sector was pretty much red. Energy was up 0.13%, but the rest were all red. Leading to the downside, you had healthcare down 2.3%, basic materials down 1.6%, consumer cyclical down 1.29%, financials down 1.1% after having a good day yesterday, real estate taking a breather down 0.89% after a ridiculous day yesterday, and technology was down 0.43%. So let's keep going here. I mean, the only thing that was in the headlines that I thought could maybe increase volatility risk was either the 10-year yield increasing, or maybe that was a byproduct of all of this news that everyone on Biden's side is going against him now, trying to get him to step aside in the race. Now, again, I don't cover politics. I'm not a political expert, and I actually am very agnostic. I think both sides are owned by corporations and lobbyists and special interest groups, and we are basically voting for either Pepsi or Coke in the supermarket. And one has to ask, who decided on Pepsi and Coke in the first place? But I think I'm going to name today's podcast A2 Brute. It just seems everyone who just a week ago were endorsing the Democratic candidate is now calling for him to step aside. And the latest rumor that I've heard is that they're going to not only ask him to step aside, but by the weekend, they're going to ask him to step down. I don't know. I don't see that happening. But these are things that I'm hearing through the grapevine. I'm actually going to put a poll. I'm just curious because I have subscribers all over the world and almost every state in the U.S. Will you watch, or did you watch, the Trump speech on Thursday night? Yes, no, or just here for the results and you're being nosy? I'd love to hear from you guys. And again, I don't want to get, I'm not choosing sides here. Okay, I respect both sides. I see both arguments and I see the pros and cons of both sides. So I truly am agnostic. It's when I see fanatical folks who claim they're in the middle like me, but they're truly not in the middle. That's what I always find funny. But let's keep going and peeling this onion. So I did post the 1 hour podcast guest interview of Mark Kreitzman from Afani. If you have questions, I may have him back as a part 2. So message me any questions you have regarding Afani, switching to Afani, what that involves, because I've been a customer for over a year and I can answer those questions. Or just give me a comment after you listen to it. Was it helpful? Those 11 free tips that I gave, are you going to implement any of them? I just don't want to see anyone get taken advantage of and get hacked. So let me know. Give me some feedback there, because I worked hard on that and I want to try to protect everyone. Taking a look at the 10-year yields, we ramped up today up to 4.2%. Not a big deal. Let's watch this. If it's under 4.5%, it's kind of bullish in my eyes. There's rumors that they might cut, but we already went from 4.7 to 4.2 now since April. So we've already gotten that 50 basis point cut naturally through the market. Another thing that stood out, the NQ futures for NASDAQ is having trouble now with that 20,000 level. It tried to bounce today, but it got close, but no cigar, and then it reversed south again. But let me go through what was strong and what was weak today. So these are all percentages. DR Horton, off of earnings, up 10.1%. The volatility index up 10%. You had TZA up 5.9%. That's the short of Russell 2000. You had UVIX, which is 2x VIX futures, up 5.4. UVXY up 4.46. Meta up 3, as I mentioned. Broadcom bouncing from yesterday, up 2.9. DRV, which is housing shorts, up 2.7. Nvidia up 2.6. DJT up 2.5. Pulte Homes up 2.5. Toll Brothers 2.4. Lennar 2.1. ITB 1.8. You see a theme here? Housing has been on a tear of late. What was weak? This list is long, so I'm going to skip around, but all of the crypto miners are red. Riot down 11.8%. Bitfarms down 9.8%. TeraWulf 9.3%. Iris Energy down 9.1%. Hut 8.1%. Marathon 7.4%. So they're not doing well. And Bitcoin itself is just struggling with the 50-day moving average. Hims and Hers down 7.3%, Coinbase 6.3%, MongoDB down 6%, AI down 5.3%, Sweetgreen 5.3%, DraftKings 4.8%, ACMR Research 5.3%, Affirm Holdings 4.3%, Restoration Hardware 4.3%, Harmony Gold 3.8%, Arc Innovation 3.8%, Wayfair 3.7%, Red Rock Resorts 3.5%, Chipotle Mexican Grill 3.4%, Uber 3.4%, Carvana 3.4%, Silvercorp Metals 3.4%, CrowdStrike 3.3%. You get the picture. I'll have all of these in the show notes so you can check it out. Free members, continue to watch the 10-year yield, continue to watch the Mag 7, as well as some of this Fed head news that's coming out of late. Anything that comes out of Washington has been headlines that move the market. So be very, very careful here. We're losing some of the Mag 7 with the 50-day moving average. And that's actually something I'm going to be covering today with the premium members. We'll be going over basically about a dozen charts today. So I will see the free members after the Friday session. Premium members, please stay on. That's my train.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.